you see on CNN is anti-Trump slogans and white supremacy. But where are those good old conservative values and a faith in God? Lucky there's the Irishman pod. Lucky there's two men who positively can do all the things that make us laugh and cry. We are the Irishman pod.
You know, if you get sweaty and want to take your shirt off, that'd be just fine.
I'm good, man. I'm good.
All right. I want to do welcome everybody, but I decided I'm not going to do that anymore.
Oh, no? You're off that intro?
Yes.
All right, man. Well,
all right.
What are we doing? It's Friday.
We're doing another episode of the Orange Men podcast.
It's Friday.
Brought to you by It's Okay to Be American.
Yes. I like that. That was good.
I thought so too.
Presents. It's almost. We're getting theatrical.
Theatrical. I want to say something.
Okay.
To start, it's been bugging me all day.
Ooh.
Couple things, but one is the Black National Anthem that's going to be played at the beginning of all football games now.
Well, the NFL is gay now, but go ahead.
So we're going to have a Black National Anthem, and then we're going to play the White National Anthem. Is that what they're saying? Do they know how stupid that is?
Are they not going to have the American flag out on the field, or?
Well, now they're going to have all these anti-racist slogans. They're doing all this stuff to just separate us more.
I mean,
there's no systemic racism. The NFL is 99% black. Where is the systemic racism?
And millionaires.
And they're all millionaires on top of it.
Well, mostly.
I'm the one who should be complaining.
Yeah. Well,
I don't understand what we're doing. We're separating. Why would the NFL jump on this stupid ass bandwagon?
Well,
I'm never watching another football game as long as
therein turn. I mean, brings up the point I was trying to get. What I was just going to get to was, all right, your ratings are already down across all sports, and I know the NFL. It is the most popular game, but I mean, I don't really care last year. I know, like, a lot of people, because I used to be big into fantasy football and stuff like that. I don't really care anymore. You know what I mean? I don't pay attention. I don't know who the draft was. I don't know who the free agent. I don't pay attention to that stuff anymore. Within the last 3 years, the stuff doesn't really bother me because
zero impact on my life.
They're going exactly.
We have an American flag for all Americans.
Yeah, you're only making yourself.
We have a national anthem for all Americans.
And unless somebody told you that, oh, did you know the second verse has this, and this? Well, no, I didn't know that.
Well, who says it does? What does that even mean? The second verse has this, and this. What does that mean?
There's racial undertones.
It's
in the second.
It's all bullshit.
I understand that.
What? Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early
I'm
light?
talking about like the part after the second whatever stanza. It's not the second verse, I guess. It's not. It's there's like a whole nother part of the song
that doesn't get sung.
Yeah.
And that's racist?
Well, that has racial.
Does anybody even know that?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Until somebody was like,
second
part of the
somebody
national
was like,
anthem?
"Hey, Dave, did you know?" No, there is. There's a.
No, there isn't.
Yes, there's a whole nother part. Yeah, there is. You just nobody knows about it until I just told you about it.
Yeah, but that's not what we sing. That's not this national anthem.
I understand that, but that's what people were bitching about. And it's again, we're catering.
It's not what they're bitching about.
It's just the whole point of everything's racist, but yet they're catering to such
I got a headache from this.
A small minority of the people that they're going, yeah, we're just going to eat dicks on our profits next year yet again. And then it's also like, you know, you got players that aren't following protocol because they're like, dude, I'm not getting vaccinated because I don't buy it. I'm not buying your COVID restrictions. I'm going to live my life how I want to live. I'm not going to.
So they can't play football now?
That was the thing. You're going to separate. So the non-vaccinated players have to stay in their hotel room. They're not allowed out. They're not allowed to do this, and this during the course of the week.
What if they had COVID?
Well, I guess that doesn't matter.
Oh.
Because you're not doing.
All right, listen.
But even like I saw Buffalo Buffalo, it wasn't the Bills as much as it was the county that Buffalo Stadium
They're complete and utter morons.
was like, well, we can have 100% capacity as long as everybody's vaccinated. And I'm like, well,
Don't they realize they're going to go out of business?
yeah, but I'm hoping Bill's Mafia is like, yeah, you know what? We'll just go to the farm fields and blow up tables all weekend long. You know what I mean? Like, don't do it. Well, it's the new woke. NFL, sports. I mean, I saw the hockey game the other night. I meant to send that to you too, where I guess it was the Stanley Cup Championships. You have Montreal, I forget what the time period. I mean, it's been like over a decade where they've been out of the Stanley Cup. They're finally in it, and they're only allowing 3,500 fans in. So basically the nation that started hockey, so to speak.
Yeah.
But
Not so to speak.
But then there was
They started hockey.
There was no travel restrictions for them to come back this way either, because then they would have had to break the schedule up for 3 days, 4 days.
They're idiots.
And then they were
they're Canadians.
And I forget who they were playing, but they had a full packed house. So it's like
Tampa Bay Lightning.
Oh yeah. So you had
Florida.
You had 3,500 fans in Montreal. They come here and it's a full packed house of crazy Floridians of Tampa Bay, and they've been in the Stanley Cup within the last 10 years, probably 2 or 3 times. And it's Florida. And so I guess it was
their
whatever
second one in a row.
I guess it was whatever game it was. I saw it where even like all the fans and everybody was singing the national anthem, and it was great. It's America. It's what makes America America. But they'll be like, hockey's white, so that's why they all care.
All right. Well,
getting into what you're saying too, like
we're just separating.
Why not just be like, hey, we're gonna play this? Why the black national anthem, the white? So now, like you just said, you're segregating it. You're making it so that
it is racist.
Are we gonna play the black national anthem first or the white national anthem
clearly
second?
You play the black one first.
Well, why wouldn't you play it second?
I don't even know if they're going to play the national anthem. I don't even know if they're going to fly the American flag anymore.
You know,
it's ridiculous.
Well, they're good. I don't know.
Who wants to live in a country like that?
Well, nobody.
Who wants to live where they're purposely separating race? Like race has anything to do with anything you do.
With watching football.
Yeah,
or participating in football.
Or living your life or being whatever you want to be. Why is race? There's no difference between a black person and a white person, except their skin color. That's it. That is it.
But you're being we've talked about it plenty of times, where you're constantly being told, like, you're no good, you can't do this, you can't do that, because you're not white.
Who told black people their lives don't matter?
No, I know. Well,
those people need to be smacked.
Well, it's the Democrats. They're the only people that worry about color.
I would never walk around with a flag saying my life doesn't matter or my life matters. That's stupid.
Well, of course it matters.
Of course, all our lives matter. Why I would never ever listen to anybody who said I didn't matter.
No, I agree with you.
That would cause me enough to hold up a flag and say my life matters.
Well,
that's ridiculous. Why would you listen to somebody like that?
It's just the point of.
And where are you? And what are you getting for it?
Nothing.
What are any of those people marching and rioting and looting and burning down cities? What are they getting out of it?
No, they didn't get anything.
What did the BLM movement give them?
Nothing.
Did anybody get a scholarship?
I don't know.
Did anybody get a mortgage payment?
I don't know.
Did anybody get some food?
Nobody paid back the businesses that were looted or rioted.
Did this so-called systemic racism stop?
Nah.
Well, listen, there is systemic racism, and it's portrayed on black people by the Democratic Party, and it's been that way right from the beginning, and it continues to be that way. And it's right in front of their face. Just look at all the racial comments that Joe Biden has made in his career. Look at he stood against busing. He stood against segregation. Jim Crow laws were Democrat laws. What? Blacks only, or whites only, blacks only. That was Democrats.
What I try to tell you.
It was the Republicans who changed all that.
I hear you.
And then now we're teaching our kids that if you're black, you're oppressed, and if you're white, you're an oppressor.
Well, it's the whole point of why,
What are we doing?
Like we said, they're trying with the erasing of history. Like, wow, the removal of the Robert E. Lee statue in Virginia last week was like, well, why you take that guy? You know what I mean? He was
history. Learn from it.
Yeah, but who cares what side? He was in the Union Army to begin with. He fought for Virginia because it was his home state and he felt compelled to do so because...
Well, nobody looks at real history. They don't care.
Because that's the way it was going back then. Like they said, it was brothers against, family, brothers against brothers, cousins against cousins. There's a reason why they call it the Mason-Dixon line, because that was the line of demarcation of the North and the South. And families fought each other. People fought each other. But yet,
But we figured it out. It's fixed.
No, it's not.
We fixed all the problems, and they're just rehashing the same issues over and over. They're repeating history.
Well, they just
is what they're doing.
Well, I mean, as much as
that's why they're trying to change history, because they don't want anybody to know that they're the proprietors of racism. Proprietary racism.
I read a thread where it was like, no, the Republicans changed and the Democrats. It's like, no. Stop trying to like you said, stop trying to perpetuate your new history of situations. Nancy Pelosi's father is the one who put the statue up in Maryland, in Baltimore, whoever it was. He was the mayor of Baltimore for a long time. Why are you still, like we said, you're still voting for the same people, the same policies in all these states, and yet it's the Democrat policies that are shitty. And people still don't realize it because they go, no, we got your back. But they don't care about you until you vote them in. It's going to break up soon, though.
Well, if it doesn't break up soon, just like we discussed last week, if it doesn't break up soon, they're going to get their way, and we're going to be in big trouble. This country's going to go down the toilet. We need something quick.
It's like we said. There's not going to be a civil war because there's not enough situation, enough bodies, and nobody wants to fight with you. That's what I mean.
Nobody wants to. They're just going to show up in record numbers to vote.
No, I'm talking about just. But nobody.
There's no civil war.
But nobody,
they're trying to start one.
No, I know. But that's what I'm saying.
How many times have they tried to start one?
Ever since. Obama wouldn't have gotten to be the president if a shit ton of white people didn't vote for him, regardless of what side they were on up.
Right.
And you needed a bunch of white people to vote for him. So don't tell me that America's racist. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, I didn't vote for him.
I did the first time. I'll be honest, because I couldn't handle John McCain. Or was it? Who was it?
It was
McCain.
McCain and
what's her name?
I forget her name.
But I couldn't. Here I was thinking, well, you know what?
Well, he was no real Republican either.
But I was saying at the time, I was like, I wasn't the hope and change and all that other bullshit. I was like, I can't stand the status quo of the Republican Party with George Bush as we're going along here into these wars and everything else. And guess what? 4 years later, the shit was still the same. We were still in Afghanistan. We're still in Iraq. Because nothing.
Well, it's the same in all the big cities where all the violence and crime
But nothing was changed. So I was like, all right, well, clearly this guy doesn't really care. So I voted for...
It's the ruling class. It doesn't matter if they're Democrat or Republican.
I know. Well, now we know... Now this is what has awoken everybody. Now everybody's like, shit. We need to...
Well, that's why...
we needed a guy like Trump to step in out of the characters that were already in the parties that have been together for...
Right. He didn't just call out Democrats. He called out Republicans, too. That's the only reason why I liked him.
And like we talked about with Vinny and Ben last week, like with Romney or even with Ryan, like Paul Ryan, like there's a reason why he was like, I'm out, because he knew he wasn't going to get voted back in because he was butting heads with Trump. And I think we kind of briefly touched on it, but even though Trump had like those first 2 years with the House and the Senate, he really didn't, because he was getting backlash from the McCains, from the Ryans, right, the Romneys, you know what I mean? So he never really had the full 50 or full, you know what I mean? Like, he never really had it. And there was always going to be the dissenting Democrats that were never going to take that side. They're never going to do it because Pelosi won't allow it. She won't allow it.
I got to get that. It was World News Tonight with David Muir.
Yeah.
I gotta find it because they were comparing Trump again to Adolf Hitler, and they were actually showing video of Adolf Hitler. Are they trying to
compare like the rallies or something? Like,
yeah, it had something to do with the insurrection. Like Donald Trump denied that it was an insurrection, and Hitler did the same thing. And I don't know. I gotta get it. I don't understand. There was a lot going on around me when it came on.
I don't understand why we're still sitting on this insurrection thing.
Well, you know why.
No, I know why. You let the people into the building. I can't even keep on rehashing it because I know.
Well, let me just say.
All the info's out.
Well, did you see the video? The guy asked Biden what he thought about Facebook, his opinion on the.
Yeah, I saw it. It's pretty funny.
They're murderers. He didn't even answer the question. It had nothing to do with the answered question.
I think the beginning of the question was about the Facebook censoring or getting into people's direct messaging of.
Yeah, it was a Facebook.
Should they be censoring or should they not be censoring? So there's been a couple of clips of that all week long where, I mean, even Jen Psaki's like, no, we don't have control over it. And then later on she's like, well, if we think. I mean, getting into that, like, I don't know if that's where we're going to go here, and that's from this. I'm going to have to give Pete Ordinary a little hat tip for some of the content tonight.
Yeah, Pete, this is pretty good. All right, just listen to the question.
I sent you 2 of his clips today.
Listen to the question.
What's your message to platforms like Facebook?
So what's your message to platforms like Facebook? Mm-hmm. And this is his answer.
They're killing people. I mean, look, the only pandemic we have is among the unvaccinated. And they're killing people.
So he didn't have any intention to answer that question, or what did he think he heard? Or is he just that brain?
No, I think his talking point, and it's kind of like with Chuck Todd last week when it was like, or was the last week or the week before, where he's like, you have to. It's the unvaccinated. Tell your
yeah, but the question wasn't about that.
No, but I think because we're text messaging us unvaccinated, and we're text messaging in group chats and stuff like that.
Ask me a question.
I'm just saying.
Ask me any question.
Hey, how do you feel about Facebook's interaction into getting in your direct messages?
The beer steins don't have any alcohol in them.
What?
His answer had nothing to do with the question.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. I think their new talking points is...
So he's just a fucking robot mouthpiece?
Well, they all are, but that's what I'm saying. Like,
is that all he is, a fucking Martian?
I think the talking point is the unvaccinated are... He just said it. The unvaccinated are the pandemic now. So it's us killing other people. So it's... You got vaccinated, right? So you should be okay. What does it matter if I get vaccinated or not vaccinated? It shouldn't. Because it's the same thing with your vaccination protects you. It doesn't protect me.
Shut up, stop. Of the baby chickies.
That's not it.
I don't know what you were going for there. That's when you definitely rushed into that one. So, because you had Chuck Todd with that the week before, then you have him talking about it. You have Fauci talking about how the unvaccinated are the ones that are dying and they're the spreaders and this and this, and it's like, again, I don't know anybody that's been unvaccinated that has passed away or has gotten severely ill within the last where they didn't forcibly put you on a ventilator and you're like, no, I don't want to be put on it. No, you do. We got to save you. No, I don't. I really don't want to be put on a ventilator. No. And then they shoot you up and then fucking incubate you, and before you know it, you're passed away. But other than that, from March of last year, I don't know anybody who's gotten severely ill or has died within.
No, but you think
all my acquaintances
they're already saying that it's Trump supporters who won't get the vaccine.
It's not though.
That it's,
we know it's
conservative Republicans that won't get the vaccine.
It's more than that. We know.
I know. So why do they care? If we're killing each other, why do they care?
That was our point with Chuck Todd. Like, why is he worried about us? Let us die. If we're such a problem, let us die.
We're not making anybody sick.
I'm not trying to go to the hospital with my COVID self and kill everybody. Just leave me alone. Leave me out of it.
Fucking ridiculous.
Right. What are you trying to find?
I'm trying to find this right here. But it's not playing, so screw it. Worry about it later. But I don't know. I'm.
Well, so go to the Jen Psaki one because it kind of follows up with this.
I don't want to go to her. I hate her.
Let's circle back.
Yeah, that block and delete.
To your mama.
I think is it. Yeah.
Yeah. Is this your boy again?
Yeah.
Ordinary Pete.
Yeah.
Did he do this?
I think so.
That's pretty good. Psaki says the White House works with groups to keep censoring citizens, but then says they don't. But then, all right, here you go.
Facebook used to block people from posting that COVID may have originated for a lab. That is something this president now admits. And Facebook used to block people from posting that COVID may have originated for a lab. That is something this president now admits is a possibility. So is there any concern that things you are trying to block or have taken down might someday turn out to be...
We don't take anything down. We don't block anything. Facebook and any private sector company makes decisions about what information should be on their platform.
5 minutes later.
I'd say first, it shouldn't come as any surprise that we're in regular touch with social media platforms, just like we're in regular touch with all of you and your media outlets about areas where we have concern, information that might be useful, information that may or may not be interesting to your viewers. You all make decisions just like the social media platforms make decisions, even though they're a private sector company and different. But just as an example.
15 minutes later.
You shouldn't be banned from one platform and not others if you for providing misinformation out there.
Right. So basically, when you get booted off of YouTube, you're just deleted off everywhere.
Is that what she's saying?
That's what she means. So if if you get deleted off of YouTube or Instagram or whatever it is, then you should just lose all your social media at all.
Oh.
So kind of like how Twitter was, because we are all, whatever the thing was, 70 million people. 71 million people on that weekend that just were vaporized because we were associated with Trump or had associations with people who were associated with Trump and the movement, all blanked out that weekend. Like even my personal account, I didn't even, I followed Trump, but most of it was like dumb, back when I first started for fantasy football or, race car, DFS, betting, dumb shit like that. Our account obviously was posting for our stuff, and they all that weekend just got blown out. So
bastards.
And now I'm feeling we should all just jump on Trump's class action lawsuit with him, because I know there's like a petition or there's a form you can sign to get your name on there and what your name was and when, if you have the date, I guess, of when you were deleted or extracted from said platforms.
Or I'm gonna slap you right in your penis.
Thanks.
Well. All right. Well, that's it for this episode.
All right, everybody.
I got to get a cold one.
Yes. Cold ones.
Cold ones. Correct.
Thanks, everybody.
All right. We'll catch y'all later.
We'll be right back.
Yeah, we'll be right back. It's okay to be American.
Hang on.